Welcome to the concluding segment of Development Focus with JIDE on ITV today. My next guest is already seated. She is a world-renowned blogger, publisher, Chemney alumni, and a gender activist, gender advocate, feminist, everything rolled into one. I don't really know where to hold that. But here you meet our Gambo. It's a pleasure to have you this morning.
Thank you very much, JIDE, and I appreciate you inviting me to your show.
It's a pleasure. So, happy International Women's Day. It's still in order, isn't it?
Yes, it's still in order. It's actually supposed to be an entirely Women's Month. Okay. So until the end of March, you will be right to say Happy International Women's Day. Happy
International Women's Day. And that's exactly where we'll be taking off. 2 days ago, the International Women's Day was celebrated across the globe on the 8th of March. And then this year, the theme is Choose to Challenge. Choose to Challenge. I did my own bit. If you pick a copy of the Punch newspaper, I choose to challenge discrimination against women. And I've shared my thoughts on different platforms. So you can actually read my thoughts on the website of Punch or the hard copies. I did actually challenging discrimination against women. That's what I chose to challenge. What did you choose to challenge?
I challenged quite a lot of things on a personal level, and on a professional level, I challenged something that a lot of people will think that it's had enough discussion, but in truth, it really hasn't been talked about that much, and it's something that is still very much present with us in the 21st century, which I think is unfortunate. So publicly on a professional level, that is what I challenged in a webinar that we had on International Women's Day, which is child and early marriage. Because I particularly felt that it is quite unfortunate that we are still talking about that from this part of the world when we're supposed to be talking about much more important things like insecurity, like how to create avenues for pushing our society forward, but we're still stuck and held back by marriage of minors and underaged people.
Interesting. Anyway, like I announced on the earlier segment, you can join us on this show by calling in on 0809 987 1989. Let me take it once again. 0809 987 1989. Now, there are so many things affecting, impacting negatively on women fold. I tried to articulate as much as I could in my opinion article in the Punch. I talked about the widows' rights in the Southeast and in some parts of the world where you have to drink the water used in bathing the corpse of the husband, shave your head. You are not allowed to take your bath for some days, sometimes for some weeks. Women cannot inherit property. If you are also, you cannot marry in Southeast. Even the issue of girl child, the fact that somebody is a girl child, you discriminate against her. You can't allow her to go to school. And that is a whole chunk, even in politics, in governance, everywhere. And I cited Section 42 of the Constitution, which talks about right to no discrimination. What are your take on all of this?
You see, JIDE, the challenges facing women today are quite cumbersome and multifaceted. That is why the theme of this year's IWD celebrations is Choose to Challenge, because you cannot challenge just one and leave out the rest. So the United Nations decided to make it open and give people the choice to challenge what they feel they can within their own capacity. By the way, thank you for challenging discrimination. It's in many forms, right from the family level to the professional level, we face discrimination, and you men know this. But
patriarchy.
Unfortunately, there isn't enough discussion about this. Possibly because there is still a very large leadership gap that women have not filled. That is why there isn't enough conversation about issues that concerns women. It is unfortunate that in a population of over 200 million people, only 35% allocated to women to fill in leadership has not yet been filled. So how do you expect men to understand what afflicts women, much less deliberate on it, and be fair in judging and providing solutions? It's impossible. It's like me telling you that, okay, you have a malaria fever. I think you have fever. You said no. What I have is a stomachache. I'll say no. What you have is a fever. So unless and until women are being given what is due to them to participate in decision making, in social building, in national development, nothing will change.
Excuse me, we have a caller joining us on this program. Let's hear. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, what's the name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Abuja, Pape.
Okay, Imam, you are free. Please tune down the volume of your TV set or stay away from it so that we can hear you very clearly. Hello?
All right.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is that, why is it that the whole world made women act more than a man?
I didn't get that.
My question is that, why is it that in politics, women, they are more lesser than men in politics?
Okay. Okay, you are talking of lack of sufficient participation of women in politics.
Yes.
Okay. My guest will offer an opinion on that, even though I have one, but I'm not the guest here. She's the guest, so she will offer what accounts for less participation of women in political space of Nigeria. So I want the ball is in your court.
Thank you for that question, Mr. Emmanuel. It is actually one of the things that I was getting to talk about eventually before the call came in.
Okay. We have another caller, sorry. Hello?
Hello?
What's the name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you are on to JIDE Ojo on ITV.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Michael Oche. I'm calling from Pape City.
Okay, Michael Oche from Pape City. Can we hear your question or comment?
From Pape, Abuja.
All right, please tell us what's your question or comment.
Yes, today is Women's Day. We like to see women in power.
Okay.
Yes, we like to see women in power.
You want to see them in power, but do you empower them?
It's the government of the day that needs to empower women. Like today is my wife's birthday, and I empower her.
How did you empower her?
Yes, I wish her happy birthday and sing for her. I bought her birthday gift.
What about economic empowerment? Did you set her up in business or she's working? Anyway, thank you very much, Oche, for calling. We really do appreciate it.
My regard to Adia Awadia. She's my client.
Oh, okay. It's all right. We appreciate your call. Thanks much. Yeah. All right. So let's get on. The question was, how come the women are not participating as much in politics?
Yes. Back to Ima's question.
Another call is here. Sorry. Hello. Hello. What's the name and where are you calling from? Oh, we lost that call, I think. Sorry. Okay. Let's get on.
Mr. Emmanuel's question is something in tandem with a question I have had so often by men saying women should rise up, women should stand up. But the truth is, we have always stood up. We have always risen up. We just not seen, and we are not validated.
Okay.
And even when we are seen, we are put down. Let me just give you an example, a very recent example, with the gubernatorial aspirant of Kogi State, Natasha Apoti.
Okay.
We all know what she went through in the hands of the political leadership in Kogi State because she wanted to contest, because she's a woman. And a lot of the persecution that she suffered them because she's a woman, not because she's an opposition or an opponent. There are a lot of things women go through which men are responsible for. And
hello, let me pause your thoughts on that.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's the name and where are you calling from? This is Development Focus with JIDE on ITV. Oh, we lost that call, sorry.
So even the women that are educationally and economically empowered reach a stumbling block where the patriarchy steps down on them. A good example I just gave you is Natasha Apoti. I have many other examples of friends I have known who have stepped up to contest, but they were denied their candidacy by the political leadership because they are women. Men are given preference over them. I have also been stepped aside by men, by men, in various endeavors I've gone through. These are things a lot of men are aware of, but it is left for us to speak up about it because a lot of times people say you cannot cry more than the bereaved. So that is one of the reasons why on International Women's Day, women are encouraged, or throughout the month of March, to come out and speak about things that concerns them, which men either know and pretend not to know, or some do not know at all. So women are supposed to be in politics because we constitute a large percentage of the population. We are 49%, which is almost half of the population. And our challenges, our needs, our aspirations are not met. How do you expect the society to move forward?
Okay, let's go back to the issue of child early marriage you spoke to earlier on. You said it's something that is very dear to you, marriage of minors. We also have the issue of rape. Kaduna State House of Assembly recently passed a bill against child rapists, that anybody caught with child raping a child or a minor will be castrated. What's your take on that? The issue of early marriage, child raping as pedophile, and all of that. What's your take?
To begin with, I still cannot understand why anyone, any sensible man would rape anyone. But the only plausible explanation I can give to that is, one, our weak judicial system, and two, the culture of silence, which we all know that we have strongly embedded in our culture in this country. You are not allowed to speak about what hurts you. You are not allowed to speak about your situation, your calamities, your problems. You know, you are encouraged to keep your suffering to yourself. And most often at times, when a rape occurs, even the victims are afraid to come out and tell their families, their parents, because they will be judged, they will be condemned. That is what we call victim blaming. It is now that we are educating people about how it is very wrong to blame the victim, because rape is always blamed on the woman. So when a man knows that if he rapes a woman and gets away with it, of course at a point he will get tired of raping women and go for small children that cannot complain. So it is a culture that is embedded on two issues that I raised. Our weak judicial system, which does not care to give women justice. And there is also the culture of impunity, because you know you can get away with it because the justice system will not bother to persecute you.
What's your take? You are a feminist, or you describe yourself. What is feminism all about?
You are a feminist too. JIDE.
Well, you have
Because
only confirmed me on that. Let me pick this call. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's the name and where are you calling from?
This is Emmanuel, calling from Papi.
Okay, Emmanuel, we can hear you.
Please, I want to use this opportunity to appeal for the government to empower women, because to my own view, women, they will do more than men in this our country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel. So let's. I want to take some WhatsApp message. Okay, let's get on. Let's.
You see, the thing is, there is so much misunderstanding and lack of knowledge about what feminism is. Feminists are getting bashed in this society, are getting misunderstood, and being given so much interpretations and definitions which is not actually feminism. Feminism is just the belief that women should be given equal opportunities, equal justice, and equal everything in society. They are not less than men. So if you choose to challenge discrimination against women, that automatically makes you a feminist, even if you don't know it.
Okay, not that I don't know. Let's go, because of our very short time on this segment, let's look at the issue of girl child education. I raised that issue in my column in The Punch today, and I was talking about issue of mass abduction of girl child or schoolgirls as recently as on the 26th of February in Jangebe, 317 girls marched away into the forest abducted by bandits. In 2014, we have the Chibok girls abducted, 276 or thereabouts of them. What does this portend for girl child education in Nigeria?
It's actually a very unfortunate incident that can dissuade parents from sending their children to school. We are still complaining about the lack of enrollment of girls to higher institutions of learning, secondary school, primary schools, universities. So if this continues, it has already dealt a blow in girl child education. But we all know that security all over the country now affects everyone. So the issue of abduction is not just peculiar to girls' secondary schools. It happened in Katsina State, boys were abducted. But it is more particularly harmful to girl child education because a lot of parents will refuse to send their children to school as a result of that. So we have to start talking about the issues that matter at the moment. The government has failed to provide us with security, which is very unfortunate because there is just no justification and excuse for that. If we are going to talk about development in any way, security is paramount. And right now, there does not seem to be much headway in that direction, which we are hoping we will see some positive changes soon.
Okay. Now, you can still join us. We still have some 5 minutes to wrap up. Or you can join us on 0809 987 1989. 0809 987 1989. You can still call in or send a WhatsApp message on 0803 588 9012 or tweet at me at JIDE. Tell us a bit about yourself. You are well read, you are from northern Nigeria, you are a Chebney scholar. How did you come about it? Why weren't you married also like a minor? What makes a difference for you?
Well, I was married. I've been married for a long time. I have 5 children.
Oh, all right.
So, yes, I am from the north, Kaduna State to be precise. It wasn't an easy life, and I think it's actually one of the things that made me what I am today, because I decided if we're going to sit back and do nothing while other young girls and women went through what we did go through, then what's the essence of being educated? The essence of education and empowerment is to make a difference, not to repeat the cycle, not to continue with repeated patterns. And that repeated pattern is underage marriage or the marriage of minors and all the ills that our society has today. That is why I said the issue of choosing to challenge was left wide open so that we each can choose what we can challenge in our respective
let's take this last
lives.
call.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, on the line.
Okay, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, what's your question? Move away from your TV set, you are too close.
Yeah, the national.
What's your question or comment?
My question is, please, mothers that is making their children should be married very early.
Yeah, what should happen to them? Mothers that are making their children to marry early.
Yes. Some of them, if they get pregnant, they don't born quick.
Okay. Thank you for calling in. Your point is made. As we wrap up, okay, let's look at, there's so much to talk about on this issue of choose to challenge.
Absolutely.
Because we've not talked about governance. The governance, why? Okay, let's assume the patriarchy and all of that affects women in politics. In governance, what's the hindrance? We have the National Gender Policy, we have a number of legislation, even Constitution says there should not be discrimination against women. But yes, in the cabinet of Mr. President, we have only 6 or thereabout women out of 43. What's responsible?
Let me take you back to a video that went viral. I'm not sure where it is from. I think it's from Channels, of a member of the House of Reps. When the bill was proposed at the House of Representatives about the need to fill up that 35% quota for women in politics, he said he will not vote for that bill because he knows women are intelligent, and if they are given the opportunity, they will send them home.
Okay, so final word, what's the way forward to all of this gender discrimination, violence against women and all of that? 30 seconds.
For men to understand that women are their allies, not their competitors. And if we want this society to move forward, to develop, to get out of the current chaos and crisis that we're in, women have to be brought on the table. Otherwise, nothing gets done.
Thank you very much. That's where we drop the anchor on today's edition of Development Focus with JIDE Ojo. I've been having a chat with my guest, Ajia Awas Gambo, a feminist, gender advocate, publisher, blogger, Chebney alumni, and journalist. So she wears several caps, and on this edition, we are glad to have her talk about International Women's Day 2021, which is Choose to Challenge. We have chosen to challenge discrimination, violence against women, and she has also profiled some solutions that women are not competitors, they are collaborators.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. We do hope to have you some other time on this show.
Thank you very much, Mr. JIDE Ojo, for having me and for giving me this platform. I appreciate it. And I do hope that we all will continue and carry this forward to continue to challenge anything we see that is not right in our societies.
Thank you very much. And please tune in next week on same time, same day, same time and same station as we x-ray other national issues. This is about development of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. For those who have called in, we really do appreciate you for calling in. It's a pleasure. Have a great day.